Welcome to the Ken Bailey Show. Today's show is brought to you by InteractiveFamily.com, your safer, God-honoring social media alternative. And now, here's Ken Bailey.
Thank you. Hey, guys. Glad you're joining us tonight on the Ken Bailey Show. It's going to be another fun night. We got a lot of things going on. And, of course, as usual, I'm joined by Mikey the Mime. Hey, Mikey, how are you, buddy? We like to say we're the only podcast on the air with our own co-hosting mime, and Mikey's one of the best. You'll be hearing a lot about Mikey, not here, but other places around the internet, and we're so pleased that Mikey's part of our team here. And oh yeah, thank you, Mikey. He's a humble guy. He's probably the most humble mime in the business, I would say. Yeah, definitely. May not be the most talented, but he's certainly the most humble, and with good reason. So thank you, Mikey. Thanks for being with us. Thank you for being with us tonight on the Ken Bailey Show. We've got another. Well, who knows what we got tonight? We have some folks that may be calling in. We just never have any idea, which for me is part of the fun of the show. I don't know if it is for you. But before we start that, we want to...
Topical ointment.
Yeah, topical ointment.
Topical ointment.
Yeah. See, I told you. It's going to be a doubly good topical ointment tonight because we, with all the things going on, we like to have something topical that's not necessarily... some of the chaotic mess that we see every night on cable news, whichever cable news you watch or listen to. And but I just want to tell you a little quick story from 5 o'clock yesterday morning, 5 a.m. in Madrid. In Madrid, there was a circus there in town, and 7 camels and 1 llama escaped from the circus. And the police, in fact, the national police were called out, and they were trying to round up these 7 camels and 1 llama in downtown Madrid, and so they did. They were successful in getting them rounded up and back to the circus. And but the people that ran the circus were just irate, and they said that it had been caused by an animal rights activist group who had managed to break them out of the circus. And I just thought, if there's anything a bunch of dromedaries want, it's to be found at 5 a.m. in the morning behind the dumpster at the McDonald's Madrid. And so that's just something that seems to be a lighter part of today, but it also speaks to all the activist groups out there, even the ones that are trying to release camels and llamas.
Topical ointment.
That's right. So we're going to continue on with the show, and I want to talk to you about a couple of things that are going on. One, at this weekend on, if you go to BethanyToday.com, if you go there now and you check it out, there's going to be a really neat thing. There's a documentary that won an Emmy this year for the best social documentary, and it's called The Rescue List, and it's directed by 2 people, a man and a woman. And so there's going to be a screening of this online, of this terrific film, terrific documentary. And then in addition to that, they're going to be, that's going to be at 2:00 this Saturday. And after that, following the film, there's going to be a live Q&A with the 2 directors of the award-winning film. And I'm real proud that I've been asked to do the emceeing on that part. So please check out bethanytoday.com and look for your links. You can go to Eventbrite and put in the rescue list, and you'll be able to register there. But there's a lot of ways to get there. But I hope you get there online to join us on Saturday at 2:00 for the to watch this terrific film. Lady in our church named Cheryl who saw this film originally and was just so taken by it. She just took on a personal passion project to get this film seen, and then so she's been working with the producers of the films, the people that are marketing the films, and so they've become fast friends. And Bethany Christian Church has been very supportive in helping these filmmakers get their story out about. It has to do with slavery today in Africa, and it's a kind of slavery that you probably haven't heard of. It's a very encouraging story about some young boys and their struggle and success. And so it leaves you feeling really good, and but it also makes you very aware of what's going on in that area of the world. And I'm just real proud to be associated with the project, and I can't wait to talk to the directors and see what they're. All right, we have a call.
Call from
Steve McCurdy.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
This is great. This is Steve McCurdy. I want you guys to hear from him.
Press 1.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Ken. How you doing?
I'm great. Welcome to the Ken Bailey Show, man.
I'm tickled to be here. I love what you've done with the place.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, we're real proud. Mikey the Mime says he's waving to you. He's saying hi. So
okay.
Yeah, he's a big fan. He loves the book.
Really?
Yeah. He even acts out pieces of it for me sometimes, and he just loves it. And so
this is your friend the Mime.
Yeah, Steve. We're in the interest of diversity because this is such a big thing. Our crack research team checked, and we believe we're the only radio show podcast with a mime for a co-host.
I can almost guarantee that I've never been on a show with a mime as co-host.
Well, speaking of the book, which Mikey didn't, but I know he's thinking about it. He's holding it up and turning the pages. This is great. Okay, Steve.
Well, don't let the wind blow it out of your hand, there,
Mikey the mime.
Oh, he's in the glass box.
Yeah,
so the wind doesn't bother him.
Well, actually, right now he's in because of the season. He's in a Christmas snow globe, so he's kind of trying to.
Oh, well, that's
which is a much more unique.
You guys are right on top of it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we are. Yeah. That's the Ken Bailey Show. We're nothing if we're not current.
Yeah. Let's just put a period after nothing.
Well, I want to talk about your great book. You have many books, but the one that this time of year comes to everybody's mind and heart is Keeper at the End. And
well, thanks, Ken.
You bet, man. I'm real proud of you for creating that, and you got the wonderful illustrator to help you with the pictures, and I just think it's a great problem. I know it is. We've enjoyed it at our house, and we know lots of folks across the country are enjoying it. How did you come to write it, Steve?
Well, my kids came home from Sunday school when they were very, very little, talking about the mean old innkeeper, and I said, well, what makes you think he was mean? And the argument basically was that, they were looking for a room, and this man wouldn't let Jesus' mom and dad have a room in the hotel. And I tried to explain, that times were different and that they did find him a place, and then they came back with the fact that it was a stable and that just wouldn't do. And I couldn't make any headway. So I thought about that for a while. And so I came up with a story of an introvert who had been, whose parents, moved to that area, found a kind of an opening, kind of a cave to make a shelter into. And they and their animals were in there. And then this child then inherited the property, became the innkeeper. He was born in there. And he grew up in there. And when his family got too big, his dad developed some carpenter skills and built a house out in front. And he liked building, so he kept building. And they were very hospitable people, so they'd let people stay. And it evolved into an inn. And because he was first born, when everybody else got up and, went off to, lead their lives, he was left with the inn, and he didn't have any particular skills. He just knew what he'd been taught by his parents. And so he and his wife, when his parents passed on, they perpetuate the inn. They're not greatly successful at it, but they are mildly so. And then when the tax decree comes out, they figure they're going to get rich because everybody's coming home. Well, everybody did come home, but it was his family, his brothers and sisters and their family.
Oh my goodness. That's right.
All wanted to stay for free.
Yeah.
So
let's don't tell them all the story, but that's a great tease.
No, well, you asked how it came about.
I did. And, and I love that.
Being a master plotsman yourself, I wanted to make sure that I, showed you that I'd done a little bit of research.
Oh, yeah. Well, it certainly shows. And now, who was the person that illustrated it for you?
Well, at the time that I wrote the story, I was working with a church in Houston, and we had a youth choir. And one of the girls in the youth choir was a remarkable artist, and she had graduated and gone to college studying art. And I sent her an email and said, here's what I'm thinking about doing. And I've got this story. And she had been around when I would tell the story. I dressed up in this incredible old outfit. And, I did it on Christmas Eve, just talking about it on Christmas Eve. And she had seen that. And I said, I want to do that as a book. She said, well, sure. And so we started coordinating back and forth. And she did it sort of as her senior project in college.
Wow. That's great. I want your day job, along with 1,000 other things you do, is a voiceover actor. True? You do a lot of voiceover.
Yeah, you could not tell it today. I have worn my voice out today.
Oh.
This is a busy season.
Well, you're also coming in over the phone, and that's not that's not exactly the best device for what you do, because you have this kind of golden voice.
Right.
But what I want to share with the folks, Steve, is you did a CD to go along with the book. And so what I'd like for them to hear is, because I want them to hear the real quality of this piece, is just a little excerpt from the book. And guys, here's a short cut from Keeper at the Inn by Steve McCurdy.
Hello and welcome to The Keeper at the Inn. I am known as the Story Master, and I tell stories from far and wide that have been whispered to me by the Great Spirit. This is one that actually took place. You'll find it in the book of Luke in your Bible. And so let us begin. My name is Japhas. I'm a very old man, and I have a story I think you should hear. Of an evening like this, a very long time ago, even before I was born, my dear. Yes, it began a long, long time ago beneath a rock near the bottom of a hill. A young man and woman started this.
All right. Well, that's the level of quality of and just the richness of this of the CD, the audio book. And so you've got a physical book that kids are coloring in. I know they've done that at our house, and because of the way the illustrations are, and you've got that wonderful audio book of the story too. So
I want to also, Ken, I want to jump in here and do a shout out. The music for each of those segments, each page, was composed and played by Ken Miedema.
Oh,
and it's all original music.
Oh my gosh! I hope you guys know who Ken Miedema is and know of his talent. Steve and I, we call him
the White Stevie Wonder in the Christian music world.
Yeah,
he's a blind musician, but he is remarkably talented, and he can take an idea and just run with it. And he did with this. He just did a lovely job. Yeah.
And if you guys want to go to YouTube and look up Ken Miedema, spell it for us, Steve. His last name.
Medema. Medema.
Yeah.
It's like Hawaiian. Every vowel makes a sound. So,
right. Well, go to
Ken is.
Say again.
Ken is just wonderful. He's an easygoing guy. He's on the road all the time. In fact, I think he's going to be in Houston shortly. I saw something about that a couple of days ago. The schedule, but it's all online.
Yeah.
And when you go to one of his concerts, he has a theme, and then he'll have people get up and talk about that, like the most important person or the person that had the biggest influence on you. And while you're talking, he's underscoring that. And then when you go to sit down, he sings about a 3-verse song about the story that you just told. It's just an amazing experience.
Well, we had one with him when we were doing Affluent Sunday School.
Right.
We had this thing that you arranged to meet with him, and you had that wonderful lyric of "If These Old Walls Could Talk," and I got to be the fly on the wall there and watch you two work together just extemporaneously, improvisationally, where he just came up with this amazing music for your lyrics. So yeah, that was, and then we got, and when we premiered the audio
movie,
portion, we also you did a show with him out at St. Luke's Methodist, Houston. And that was another treasured memory for me and everybody I know that was there. So
that was a great night, wasn't it? That was so much fun.
It was. I wish I could still fit into that tuxedo I wore that night. But anyway, yeah, that was, and plus the premiere at River Oaks Theater, which is going away. So a lot of our experiences.
It just breaks my heart.
Yeah,
breaks my heart.
Yeah. Okay, well, look.
That's a great up note to.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? Actually, it is a good segue into a lot of the things that the Ken Bailey Show is about is really finding encouragement and joy in kind of the chaos of our world currently. And every time we turn on the news, or if we allow ourselves to do that, it's just another challenge. And so when you have a product like Keeper in the Inn come along, which not only is just a quality piece of writing, it's not a quality piece of work, and then on the audio side with the music and all that, but it's an incredibly encouraging story about it's a redemptive story about this person that all of us, I think, have thought that the innkeeper wasn't exactly one of the heroes of the word, So
right.
So I think it's the book comes back at a time. What?
That was one of the questions I asked myself when I was creating the character: is how could it be that he put them in his absolutely favorite place, the place where he knew they would that he was available to take care of them if they had a problem, but that they would have privacy because they weren't going to get it in the inn. They weren't going to get it anywhere in Bethlehem.
Yeah,
because the place was crowded.
Yeah, well, and
so
and if they'd had their own room, it would have gotten a little crowded with the shepherds and the angels and if the people had the nativity scene on their coffee table at Christmas of the inside of a motel, with 2 twin beds and it wouldn't be quite the picturesque thing that the stable is. No. So yeah. Yes.
And several years ago, I was going to church at Chapel with Methodist Church, and we had a live nativity. We had a camel, and we had all the animals. It was just really great. And I had gotten through reading this story in my outfit and whatnot, and I went out to talk to the kids. And I walked up beside this little boy, and he was patting a goat with two little stubby horns. And he looked up at me and he said, "Boy, mister, I sure wish I had a dog like this."
Okay, well, I got to tell a story now. We're back to Can You Top This? Gerald Ray tells a story that in Houston years ago, for many years, one of the huge celebrations at at Christmas was the pageant at First Baptist Church in Houston. And it was just, it was a hard ticket to get. And Gerald and Trevel and his wife, who was amazing, they put on this production every year, and it was just took up a lot of their ministry. And this one particular year, they would, all these volunteers from the choir, 600 people from the choir and all would rehearse. And when it got closer to the performance, they would just really work late. And everybody had gone. Gerald was there, and it was 2:00 in the morning. And so he got in his car, just totally worn out from another long day, gets in his car, and he's riding home, and he hears on the radio that it's going to freeze that night. And he panics, and he turns around, goes back. It's after 2 in the morning. He drives back to the church. There's these tents and all where they have the animals, the camels and all this that they're going to have in the pageant. He goes in and tries to kind of keep them warm and secure best he can. Finally gets back in his car, heads back home, has the radio on, and the call letters come on that he's listening to Kansas City, Missouri radio. So, there's a lot of wonderful living nativity stories out there, and your story is right up there with them. Steve, wait, Mikey's holding up the book here. He's got page 11. What's on page 11, Steve? He's pointing to page 11.
In page 11, it's got the interior of the inn. And it's got people sleeping everywhere. There's a guy sleeping on the mantelpiece.
Oh, yes.
There's a guy sleeping against the wall. There's another guy sleeping on the stairs. and he's got, his knees on one set of steps, his chest is on the next one, his head's on the next one. And then there's a goat and a donkey that figure into the story only on the audio portion. They're just pictured in the book. But the backstory is that they were, friends of this very introverted guy, and they're nuzzling people that are sleeping on bales of hay. And, people didn't really have rooms. I mean, they stayed in the building.
Yeah. Right.
But they, but they were 2 and 3 and 4 to a room. And, it was not great accommodation. It was just a roof and some warmth and a place to get a bite to eat. And, very ultimate in hospitality. It's like, you and I are both only children, but my cousins, there were 5 of them in 2 bedrooms, and they were, everybody was on top of everybody. When I would go, that'd be even more. So
sounds like my college dorm. Yeah. Yeah.
there was a time when we didn't have the kind of privacy and the kind of comfort level that we have now, but we also had a lot more tolerance for one another's humanity because, we heard you itching and scratching all through the night, and you heard me. So there was a gentler time there.
Yeah. When you got in my personal space back then, it was a little more even serious than it is now. Just concept. Yeah. Hey, I want to tell everybody the really exciting news to me is is that your book, parts of it, some of the coloring pages. And an excerpt from your book is going to be part of our 27-day star camp that we have for not just kids.
I'm so jazzed about that.
Yeah, and we're so thankful that you're really participating in that, and that there's an opportunity right now if the kids want to, and the parents and the grandparents want to sign the child up for their gift card for the 27-day star camp for the Young Magi Academy. We've got that online now at kenbailey.com. But if they want to buy the real deal, the origin story here, they can tell them how they can get your book and CD, Steve.
Oh gosh, it's so easy. You go to keeperattheend.com. No punctuation, just keeperattheend.com. And there's a couple of videos there explaining it in an order form, and you can order one, or if you're a homeschool group and you want to order it for everybody, we've got some group discounts. So you just figure out how many you want, whether it's 1 or 20, and click on that button, and we'll ship them right out to you. Each book Comes with a CD there in the back. And then we also ship out with these, when you put an order in, we send you a kind of a lesson plan, kind of, for lack of a better word, for how to turn that into a tradition that you can do every year. And I've got a lot of grandparents who say that they use this as a gift because it's something they can sit and read with kids, and then when they leave, the kid can play the CD, or we now have links to the online audiobook version that comes with each order. And the child can play that on their device. Even if they can't read, they can start going through and following the pages as they're coloring. And it increases their ability and the speed at which they pick up the relationship between the letters on the page and words and the meaning behind that story, reading comprehension.
That's great, Steve. So, guys, take advantage of this. KeeperAtTheEnd.com. Is that right, Steve?
That's it.
Go to KeeperAtTheEnd.com and take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. And then Christmas after Christmas, you guys will be going back to that, and the kids will remember back when this was a part of their early Christmas, and it'll be special to them. And I tell you what, what I just decided to do is if you go to KeeperAtTheEnd.com and buy any of the products there from Steve, he's going to let me know, and I'm going to get back to you with a really nice discount so that your child can continue on with this story in the Advent time, and get to go to the Star Camp, the 27-day Star Camp.
Tell me how much the Star Camp is, Ken.
It's the gift card itself is $50, and it's 27 days. That each day, the child and the family will get a different. They'll get coloring books. They'll get stories. They'll hear you. They'll hear Marion's 4 Maps to Bethlehem. They'll hear.
Oh, that's a great story.
They'll see videos. They'll see. Yeah, and then what we're encouraging them to do, Steve, at night, we're hoping people will get to the dinner table together as a family, and then they'll talk about the adventures, the advent of the Christ, the 27 days that get the anticipation that Jesus is coming for the little one, and then for the family as well. So we're really hoping that we can make a difference this Christmas and have. When Christmas morning, it's all over on Christmas Eve, but then when the family goes to that Christmas morning time and they get their gifts, that they remember the Magi and all the kindnesses, and that the Magi went back afterwards so changed by having come in contact with the little Messiah, and that they decided they wanted to share the story just like you're doing. They wanted to share their story of the journey, and then they followed in our imagination. They followed the Christ child as he grew into to be the Savior of the world. So we're really excited about each day. But the gift card has a $50 value to it. But we're actually if you join interactivefamily.com, this has seems like it has a lot of levels to it, but it's not really. You just a couple of clicks, and we're going to be offering it for $25. And then if which is less than $1 a day. And then if they go and buy your book, I'm going to offer them something beside that. And so we'll communicate with them directly about what that special offer is, but we'll do that. So yeah, they go to KeeperAtTheEnd.com, Ken Bailey, the KenBaileyShow.com. All these wonderful things can be happening. And we're real blessed. We're blessed to have you as a friend, buddy. We just are just so proud of what you've been able to accomplish and how you've used your talent to encourage folks so much. And we love having you here on the Ken Bailey Show. You'll hear Steve's voice every once in a while where we use him as his great voiceover for different things that happen. And we hope to have you before the end of the season here. I'd love to have you back. Give us kind of an update on what's happening with the book and the whole project. Are we good?
That's great.
Okay, buddy.
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks for being on the Ken Bailey Show.
Man.
You bet. Okay, KeeperAtTheEnd.com. Go there now and get your Christmas started. Thanks, guys. All right. So we got to so glad he called. That's that made a good time for me. Thinking back about some of the adventures that Steve McCurdy and I have had together in creating some things. And I'm glad we getting to maybe put you together with his book. I think you'll be blessed by that. Hey guys, that's with Steve's call. I'm going to wrap this thing up tonight. We never know on our show how the format's going to go. We have things that are on our list that we may or may not get to, but with Steve's call, we're gonna just enjoy that and take off for the evening. So be blessed this evening. Check out the KenBaileyShow.com. Things are there that I think you'll enjoy. Be back with us tomorrow night at 7, and we're going to be live again. Live. It's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, we're live, and we're gonna be back with you tomorrow night. And like Patty's going to tell you, it's the Ken Bailey
Welcome
Show.
to the Ken Bailey Show. Today's show is brought to you by InteractiveFamily.com, your safer, God-honoring social media alternative. And now, here's Ken Bailey.
Bye, guys. All right, we have a call.